21st August 2020, noon. 128 DJs. This is amazing. 228 hours, 8 studios nationwide, 2 being international. This is what happened. They took Malaysia, they took Asia, and they took the world by storm, which was Independence 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AEW Sessions. Yes, we are talking about the record holders. They are here today. It was an exciting period. 21st noon, man. Everybody was on their phones. Everybody was on their laptops, whatever it means they could to get onto Mixcloud to check it out. They did it non-stop, or shall I say the longest DJ set that took place from the 21st of August all the way till the 31st. On the dot, midnight, right?
Midnight. At the stroke of midnight.
Exactly. At the stroke of midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, in the studios today, we have the main man, Jay Subramaniam, and also we have Adrian G. Pardon me, Adrian G.
Andrew.
Now, I was just thinking of somebody earlier.
Andrew.
No, not Andrew. I was
Whole world now gonna know, guys.
Say, okay, you got the A thing going on like Adrian G. My bad. I was just thinking of someone that for a split second down there. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
I hope it's not a VR thing.
I know. Because, off air, I wish we could discuss the topics that we had just seconds before that. Maybe that's the reason why Andrew's name came up in my head, because somebody I knew used to do that. And, today's show, we are going to talk about the journey for Independance, okay? Independance, which is spelled as I-N-D-E-D-A-N-C-E. So don't get it wrong with Independence, okay? That's what happened, 21st of August. And please, Jay, you are the man who was behind this whole thing. There's this fancy term Double D mentioned. What? The concept?
Conceptor.
It's conceptor. That's right. Double D gave this title. The conceptor for the entire project itself. Jay, you got to help us out to share with everybody out there. I know this was spoken before with some of the group, some elites or some group of people who actually knew about this, and some who actually are still unaware of what exactly the whole thing was about. So please tell us all about it. What was Independence and why did the idea start in the first place?
Okay, to be honest, the name Independence 2020 was must give credit to Adam Matthews. Okay. He's the one who said, hey, let's do this in conjunction with the National Day. So Adam was the one who coined the name. So credit to Adam. Me, in a drunken stupor, as usual, will come up with this kind of ideas. And then I'll tell the guys, I say, guys, let's do this. And then they'll blindly say, okay, chief, let's do this. And here we are today talking about it, but something that we didn't realize was going to be this big, It
is, man, it is. So. But the question, number one question, I mean, everybody's spoken about it, all the DJs know about it. But for the layman or the common public, why did you start Independence 2020 in the first place?
Okay, we've been trying to reach out to the relevant authorities on how the DJs who've not been working for quite some time, also the musicians, of course, but I like to speak on behalf of the DJs. It's been really difficult for a lot of DJs. I've seen some DJs struggling, selling their prized possessions. Some really are not able to work. Some are able to work. So I thought, hey, let's get the authorities to think about us, because when they started saying things like irrelevant,
that's
non-essential.
That's a weird term, because almost everybody needs a DJ, man. Seriously, let's talk about it in a bit from now. Then please carry on.
So, and then when they started saying this, then we say, okay, let's try and do something, and then reach out to the relevant person in charge, which of course was a confusion, because 1 minute this minister was talking, and then the other side another minister was talking. So we went on air, we were on Bernama News, we came out in a couple of articles, and then we also did a lot of things, but we all fell on deaf ears.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let's try and do something that we know. Maybe they'll really
get a voice.
Really say, wow, DJs are doing something. They're not just making people drunk and all these kind of things. Actually, we don't just do that. We entertain people, Music is very important. People don't realize. When people are sad, they listen to music. When people are happy, listen to music. Music is essential.
Yeah, but actually,
so the people playing it are also essential.
You got nothing to do with people consuming alcohol. You're just entertainment for the whole thing. That's I'm still confused with that one, which I'm going to discuss in a bit from now. So, and from there, how did it actually come up? Who else were involved in the startup of this project?
Okay, Jason Martin was really angry one day. Okay, he was angry today. He said, I got to do something about this. Then, of course, the first person he called is me.
Okay.
He called me, and then we got together and I said, hey, we need somebody else. We need all genres of music covered. So then we called Victor G. Victor G, which is a house stalwart, and he's like connected to most of the guys in the circuit, in the dance scene. So he came on board. So all three of us, put our heads together, try to do something. He said something, I said something, and then finally I said this, hey guys, we got to do this thing. He said, okay, Ajay, no problem. If you can get the people rounded up, let's do this. So as usual, they all do the roundup, and the posse comes, and then we all go.
One thing leads to another.
Yes.
But I believe that in the initial stage of the Independence, it was supposed to be as big as this, right? You were telling me something about it was only supposed to be X amount of DJs and X amount of days. But how did it from that turn out to this?
So it was just supposed to be 60 DJs and 100 hours.
Okay.
And then I put the thing over to Malaysian Book of Records. They said 100 hours is not very big, lad. He said, I said, yes, but there's no such existing record. So how do you base the 100 hours? Then, so we thought we'll up the game to 120 hours, So I put this thing out in the chat, and within 24 hours, there was 120 DJs. It was supposed to be 120 hours, not 120 DJs.
Nice. So it's like one person takes an hour, and it goes long, man.
So then 120 DJs times 2 hours became so and so how much. So we had to adjust this, adjust that. Some DJs played for an hour, some DJs played back to back. So that's why the hours and the DJs doesn't really tally if you look at it.
Yeah, that's 128. But the thing is, getting the DJs on board, the selection process, were there any specific guidelines of like only you can play X amount of years of experience, only you can, or certain genres only can come on board? Were there such a thing whenever they were submitting?
No. It was first come, first serve, regardless of what genre you play. Actually, I wanted all genres.
Okay.
I wanted to showcase all genres, and which was amazing. Oh my God!
Yeah.
The genres we've heard. I mean, we are generally human beings are we are tied to one kind of genre, but when we heard all these genres, and we really impressed.
That's a good mix because I was following the entire thing, and wow, it's like expect the unexpected. That's the key word for it. It's like 1 minute you're in this particular genre, 1 minute you have Charles B, then you have Bernie going on, and then you had Emo Candy from one side, and then Juno was there, then Adrian was there. So it was a mix and mashup. So anybody who had their favorite DJs, I think pretty much almost everybody was on the screen.
And you know what's really magical? We all, just because we're Klang Valley people, we're not exposed to the out-of-state people. I tell you, the out-of-state DJs and the people behind the scenes, mind-blowing. Penang, Ipoh, Malacca,
My town, Ipoh boys.
Kuching, Sabah, they brought their A game. The DJs rocked it, their visuals were kicking. It was just amazing. I didn't miss out any towns, did I?
No.
Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, just we it together. Yeah, okay, all right.
All right, so to whom it may concern if we missed out, we actually wanted to include you, just in case. And what you can see right here, this is pretty much the setup before the big game. This is behind the scenes. You're having a glimpse of what exactly took place.
Oh my God.
This is what, as much as it looks like this right now, but what came out on Mixcloud was completely different out there. This is what, who was this exactly?
This was Christy Play, DJ Christy Play, yes.
Okay, Christy. And then you can see the countdown was going on, the entire setup. And this is, I was there a few days before the ending, and I saw the entire setup, which was magnificent. And what surprised me was to get this whole thing up and running. Adrian is the technical director for the entire project. And Adrian, you got to help me out here. Run through with me on the entire setup, because I believe, or rather I was told that in order to do this particular feat, or rather this particular challenge, is a costly affair, and you guys had to do it with a limited budget because it was not sponsored by anybody at the initial stage, or nobody came in and said, okay, now here's 100 grand, let's do this, and so on. It was a collective effort by all the DJs and whoever helped out. So cost management is very, very important for this particular thing. You can't really spend much. You had to play with your limited budget that you have. So, Adrian, run through this with me. Double D, is that you? I saw a shadow. Oh, yes, it is Double D. Okay. No, it's an old habit since from radio days. You used to study for that.
Initially, when Jeff came up with his idea and they say, why don't you come on board and help on the production side? They say, okay, great. So here, being on the production side, they say, okay, give a wish list lah. Which in the chat group, pretty much please ignore, because I request this much of laptops, this and everything that I want.
Did you get it?
To run. No.
Well, you thought he was filming the Titanic 2, you thought it was James Cameron.
Yeah, so we
bring back down to calm down.
We basically, we don't have that budget. So what we did is we have support within ourselves. Everybody brought everything to the table.
Okay.
Simran got the studio and the sound system over there, and we got Akasha with all the visuals, Jeevan with the cameras, and everybody brought something to the table.
It's like a huge potluck.
Yeah.
Technical potluck.
We needed a desktop that could run for 10 days, 24 hours. So Mark Suresh, he built us one. He built us one on the spot.
In less than 24 hours. I have to put it there. Mark, respect.
Okay, and also for the rest of the people out there, if you think DJs only play music, well, think again. They have additional skills, and being an IT person is just one of it, right?
Yes.
So continue. So did you manage to build that whole thing? Was it running smoothly? And
Yeah.
all the equipments that were used, please share it. Because
we just initially we wanted it like my wish list like to have like 3 cams for each console, top shot, wide shot, and a tight shot for the DJs. And looking that we don't have that support there, so okay, let's go with that one wide shot. We just focus on the visuals and the music and getting out the whole stream out there. And it was a blessing that we actually have good team that working together, and everybody put everything on the table. So let's work on this. Even though if you were there,
Yeah, I saw.
and we are not actually using high-tech cams and everything, all just whatever is within our reach, we just put it there. As long as everything's in frame, we got a green screen up. It's amazing. It's amazing that we actually pulled this off. I mean, of course, coming from a production side, it's I would love to have a whole MCP or OB over there, but we don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
So we just did it.
Yeah, because the thing is, the end product that came out on Mixcloud was fantastic. It wasn't just average DJs with a handphone out there, and that the sound quality was not exactly appropriate. This was almost, I would say, almost perfect. Everything was almost perfect. That green screen, whatever was running in the background, but the details. Who were exactly involved in programming all that? Because I'm pretty sure if you just want to say just the DJs were doing it, I'm pretty sure someone had the background of creating that platform and all, right?
No, actually, we've been just doing this on a regular basis, 2 hours, 12 hours, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So this is probably the first time we amplified it like by 20 times.
Yes.
Previously, we'd been doing that. Of course, Akasha Visuals played a big part in this. They brought in some international Hollywood-style graphics, like you thought you'd be in a tunnel falling into a dark hole or something like that. So they helped us big time. And to top it off, the MCs. Just when you think everything's going to be quiet, the MCs brought it back up.
There were 20 spectacular MCs that came on board.
Yes.
And just to name a few, that's coming to my mind right now, Vibe was there.
Yes.
MC Vibe's the head of them
yes.
all. He's the one who rounded up everybody.
Okay.
So he's like my counterpart of me. I brought the DJs together, so he brought the MCs together. And Vibe and gang, they rocked it.
So Vibe, I saw Ashton, then I saw, of course, Alvin was doing it the last set with Jason Martin, and the whole team was a nice teamwork that can be seen over there. But the question is this, as we all know it, we have all been in clubs before, doing something for 24 hours or rather 10 days non-stop, the decks, how did the decks actually handle the pressure going on back to back?
We pretty much had a system. A couple of days before going live, we did a couple of sound checks, and so we actually had the whole production schedule, the rosters and everything also.
Equipment, thanks to Pioneer. Pioneer gave us some equipment to use as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so then you must tell them how you alternated and this
Yeah, so halfway, when this DJ is playing, the other deck is on rest. And when we push to outstation, both decks are on rest. So we did it such a way that it's pretty much scheduled.
Okay, so it was an alternative move from left, right, and then studios. But how did you get connect? Because like you said earlier, there were also 8 studios involved nationwide. So how did the link take place in order for the transition to be smooth? Because you said when you're going on non-stop with all these DJs, there should be a transition, right?
Yes.
So how was that done?
So the main control station is our main KL. We have the desktop is actually doing all the streaming. For the outstation, we have another laptop just getting the feed in.
Okay.
Send it to the main desktop, and we add on whatever the visuals, the graphics, the sponsors logo, the ticker tapes, right?
Ticker tape.
I call it scrollers.
Cool.
So they're all the infos and everything, and then we push it up
to give credit to the out-of-state studios. They had their own thing going, so they were also all like putting on their things and all that. So Penang, the Kole gang, I know you all out there. Their symbol was the Kole.
Okay.
So they were called the Kole gang. So they all out there.
It was actually Kole. I thought it was some fancy name acronym for something.
You see, we have a sponsor.
Okay.
So no other drink should be on that. So I said, if anybody else want to drink any other drink, you have to use either a white mug or something. So they were creative, came out with the call lah. See, check it out, call plus.
All right, let's check out some messages down here. Let's scroll up from the top. Let's see what do we have. Wow, there's a whole lot of messages that's going on down here. Okay, wow, Mark, long time no see. Vera Madri, Mark Suresh. Okay, Nelson, Andrew. Hey guys, let's scroll down. Coincident, Dennis. Let's see. Let's go down some more. And well, there's a whole lot. What's up, guys? Peter, Rex Sullivan, Jigo. This is more of a shout out session going on down here. Okay, go up a little bit. No, a little bit. I should have the mouse in my hands right now, actually. Okay, let's see. Go down a little bit more. Let's see. What's up? After Jigo, World Without Music, through. And what's up, guys? Jay. Okay, if you have any questions, anything to share on, please shoot. No DJs, no LJs, no music. Also, both are no. That's true. It's an amazing event. Okay, that goes on. We can still continue there. Hashtag Kole Gang, Felix Tai. Okay, but so now let's get on to the sponsor part of it. You were mentioning about sponsors. Initial stage, I've noticed you had a little bump. Okay, a little bump in the sense of getting on board. MBR was not a cheap or rather a free affair. There's a certain fee involved in that. And it was about, what, 15K?
Well, you see, originally I had done the costing.
Okay.
I had assumed that we could have done everything for 15,000 ringgit, which we could have raised ourselves.
Okay.
And I mean, everybody was already supporting in kind, in food, drinks, and then hardware, everything we were okay. And this just a week before we were going to kick this off, we were hit with a bit of a curveball. Mm-hmm. So we didn't realize it was going to be that high because we're not a corporate company or something. So we got hit with the corporate fees, which was actually 18,000. But then after some pleading and begging and crying, they brought it down to 14,000 plus almost 15,000 ringgit.
Oh man.
So then I waited for some corporate sponsors to come in and maybe give us a little money so we can cover that. Nobody came. So I had no choice. I talked to the team. I said, guys, I have no other option. I have to ask people for money. So then I put it out on my Facebook. Everybody started sharing. And before you know it, just maybe like 6 hours before we went online, money was in.
Wow. That was less than 24 or 48 hours you managed to
48 hours.
But in terms of, okay, that was the cost for the record itself. But the operations cost itself, that would have really impacted or rather burned a hole in your wallet. So how did you cover on that part? Was it the same funding that took place, or were there any special entities or anybody?
There was a little sum left over. So from there, we managed to cover a little bit. Actually, we didn't really hit all our targets and pay everybody and all that because there was some casual labor. There were some people who were supposed to get paid and all that. Mm-hmm. So we're still waiting for well-wishers and whatever to give us so we can handle this,
Okay.
So I haven't really put this thing out. I don't want to put it out because I don't want to think we're always asking for money.
No, but it's a fact. In order for you to run something like this, because it's not a profit-making project, it's more of a cause. This whole, the entire Independence 2020 is a realization event. And to be honest with you, like we were talking off air, it is something that has inspired a lot of DJs out there. Not only DJs, even MCs or anybody out there who's been affected very badly during this MCO. And of course, thank you to the number one guy who actually made an announcement that till year end nothing's going to be happening, which is also a big pressure for most DJs. But events as such or challenges like this inspired many in terms of, okay, fine, if we don't have that, we still can keep on going. There's nothing that's going to stop us. I've seen after Independence, I've seen DJs going live on their set, so back to Mixcloud again, live on their Facebook or many other platforms, promoting or rather doing whatever, or shall I say, continuing this entire project, which is amazing. Hats off to you guys. But now the question is this: the support that you have received. Let's leave the financial assistance aside. In terms of support by relevant authorities, I mean, so-called bodies or whatever, or maybe from the media side of it, because I've also noticed, I was paying attention with the details of publicity that's taking place, or promotion that was taking place. I could say that it was 98 or 99% solely from you guys. And this another 1-2%, a handful of media, which I still have to say thank you for whoever's participating. Were they involved in coming in and saying that, hey Jay, let's do this, let's have an interview, let's have a live coverage, let's any shots of going on? Did that ever happen?
It was a struggle. It was a major struggle trying to get people to understand what we were trying to achieve.
Okay.
They had never seen anything like that before on this scale. and me explaining to them without any numbers, because we are just creative people. We just get things done with sunshine and love. So when I tell them, hey, there's going to be a lot of people going to be watching this, you should get on board. Get on board. They're like, how many people? What's the numbers? Got numbers not? Got numbers? I say, hey, no numbers, dude.
Okay. This is pretty saddening. Okay, for the benefit of our viewers right now, whoever's watching, based on what I've gathered, media-wise, a lot of guys from the international side has actually covered it. From Vietnam, we had Mixmag, Asia, and a couple of other platforms. Even on Mixcloud, this particular event actually was on the #1 spot in terms of trending and also the popularity. So just imagine this, Mixcloud being an application that has users all around the world. Okay, they have users all around the world. Everybody, thousands of perhaps millions of users in this particular app, and these guys were at the #1 spot, or rather sometimes it changes from top 3. Okay, #1, #2, #3, even to a certain extent. If they said, okay, fine, we're going to move on, another transition is taking place, they'll come back again. In 30 minutes, they are back to the #1 spot. So imagine how huge it was. And when in terms of viewership, an average, I would say average, we had about 30,000 plus people was watching on it. And on Facebook, the reach, or rather the videos and the shares were going over 35,000 people plus. Okay, this is plus. And this was not heavily publicized in terms of from the mainstream media. So in the next round, okay, that's something I got to ask these guys. Next round, make sure to get on board so you at least have an idea of what this whole thing is all about. So now the question is, what's next? What's next? Have you received the certificate? Or it's like, because I know you guys were saying that till this very day, you're still in the zone. You're not really accepting that this thing has finished. You have completed, you have really achieved the target that you wanted. You're still in that zone right now. So when do you think you'll come out of that feel?
Adrian G is still in the studio trying to get the videos done so we can share it to the world again. Again, that wasn't exactly in the job description, but
just
the
in case,
kindness of his heart.
Let's do it.
Just in case anybody missed the whole thing, go and check it out.
So it's still, honestly, it still haven't hit me that we actually did this. You know? So because as Chief was saying that we've been doing live stream from our own living room, like from the second week or the first week of MCO, and it's just we're on the phone, and here we go. We have our chat group say, what we're going to do, no job, and I say, chill, let's go online. It's like, let's do this. We said, because prior to this, we have Retro Sunsplash we've been doing for years, So then after we move it online, and it's something that we learn. We learn. There's from no sound to no audio, no visuals, and everything. We came a long way to this, So it still haven't hit me yet. We actually did this, but I'm still in the studio, trying to get the edits out and everything. Hopefully, fingers crossed soon. But much love and respect to all the team members who keep on checking on me. Am I still alive? Yes, I am here.
Adrian, the MVP of the operation.
Victor Go, main man, Victor Go.
Victor.
Yeah.
Suri Irvin, missing Independence 2020 so much. Yes, trust me, for somebody who's been watching it back to back, anticipating, setting your alarm, making sure you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to check out some of the DJs, it wasn't easy, man. Okay, let's scroll on. Do you have any other messages? A whole lot of love coming in, man.
Let's not forget Double D.
Double D. Double D, I know. Okay, Double D and Juno. Double D has been an old friend of mine. He was one of the hardworking guys. You should have seen him during this entire set, behind the scene. His eyes were all teary. I mean, not to say that he was crying, like he was actually tired. This was not an easy task. Believe me, this guy's been like, you work at the station, then you come back here, you do this, you're spending your entire day. You have, some of them have actually, they have the other jobs going on. So you just come back here, run back there, make sure you're, and the toughest thing of all, which hats off, I seriously say it's amazing, is the energy level you kept throughout the entire process. I know you guys were pretty much thrown out of tiredness, doing this back to back, but looking at how you guys were hyper and then going on, taking the mic, getting behind the decks, just creating that vibe. Wow.
I will give it up to, I would say we have a great team, and for me personally, being there, pretty much, yes, I'm there. The entire thing, just to let you know. And then the team was there. We will check, and hey, how's everybody doing? Everything. For me, it's like seeing DJs that I haven't met before, and listening to their music, that keep me going and going and going. And I said, this is the reason why I want to be a DJ in the first place. And looking at young DJs who
Why is Adrian sitting in the baby chair?
We'll explain that in a bit.
later.
We'll explain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I say young DJs, like years, and some of them have less than 1 year experience, and they come up and I sat down with them and because our call time for them is 2 hours prior to that, and sat down with them and he's telling me, just remember you're as good as your last show. So giving that whole vibe and everything. They go up, they brought their A game, and we just look at each other. My God, where is this guy playing, and where is he? How come I didn't hear his name before and everything? So it's just the whole energy is given back to me, not only being a producer but as an audience as well, and having that first-hand experience just keep me going and going and going. It's really, really good. Mad respect to all the DJs who are involved in this, and I'm sure from here there's going to be tons of DJs coming up and you're being inspired by all the other DJs that have been performing on this platform. Respect.
And not only that, this is an example of how many DJs. This is just a fraction of how many DJs we have out there, the talents that we have. We are always exposed to the same, sorry for using this term, the same usual suspects whenever it comes to clubs and posters or maybe Facebook ads and so on. But this particular event that took place actually brought out everybody from all states. It's always the case. Whenever you talk DJs, it's always KL or Selangor. Furthest, you go Penang. This is 3 states. But this time you actually had from Sarawak and all the other states involved in this. And I'm looking forward for the next one, which hopefully soon, and we get every other DJs from every state involved in this particular event, hopefully.
Yeah, I need to rewind back to the DJs here. Every single DJ was nervous.
Really?
Because this was some uncharted territory. And plus, you're playing to nobody else. You're playing to a table of people sitting down watching you.
That was tough. How do y'all do that, man?
No, not how did I do that. How did the DJs do that? And they have to pretend that they're playing to 500 or 600 people and create the energy.
Yeah.
By the time they finished the set, they were exhausted. Because have to constantly, even though there's nobody there, you just have to.
Yeah, that was hard, man. I felt bad because when I walked into the studios just to have a glimpse of what was going on, I can't recall this name, particular DJ who was on the set that particular day. He was going on hyper and all this kind of, and there I was distracting everyone else, having a chat with them, and no one was looking at him. Everybody was busy chatting with me. So after leaving the place, oh shit, I just messed that guy's head up, man. I just took his audience away from him for a second. But
it's a difficult job. So online streaming is not easy.
Yeah.
If you're playing in a club, you can bounce off the energy of the people, but if you're just playing to yourself, you don't know what song is going to make it work, or do I need to change the mood? Is the mood like this, like that? And everybody's in a different area. We're not gathered together.
Yeah, true.
So somebody might be in their bathroom, somebody might be in their bedroom. So the energy is all dissipated in different ways. So the DJ it's really tough work.
Yeah, it's because not only that,
I don't look forward to it.
it's not only that, it's also the MCs. Because when you go in and say, okay, come on, scream, party up and all, who are you talking to? You're talking to a camera, right in front of the camera, and you're creating that atmosphere, which is wonderful.
But we had a magic.
What is that?
We actually bring up the whole chat and put it in the screen in front of
Pretty much like what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Jay's voice is very low, so let's pump up his volume. Pump up his volume. Maybe after this we'll try to adjust. JD is on the board. JD Sabablado is here. And what up, Akasha? Love you all, man. Let's see. Wow, there's a whole lot of love down here, man.
In the house, Jack Wee.
Jack Wee's in here. Kiki Gilawe. Jason King. Priya Dashni. Yes, Priya, we'll just notice that.
Yeah.
That's my sister who took care of
Priya.
everybody.
Oh, yes. Yes, she was doing an amazing job. Like I said earlier.
Sweetheart. I would call it.
If I would seriously say, if you could just turn back the time and invite everybody to the studio to see exactly what happened. The moment you walked in, you're welcomed so well. First, of course, you had to do the SOP. You got to check your temperatures and all this stuff. And then, you want a drink? You want a food? It felt so good, man. It was the VIP
Food.
Temple of food, right? Who was the guys, man?
After the third day, the food was just coming from all directions.
Oh,
there was everything from kesri to biryani to spaghetti to
I saw.
fried chicken.
I saw,
And
man.
I need to give credit to Jack Jaganesan
Okay.
of LOL Events. He hooked us up with Chef on Wheels.
Okay.
And every day we had some really marvelous food, including some for vegetarians. Akasha visuals were vegetarians.
Okay, cool.
So a lot. and then there was a KFC and pizzas coming left, right. You know.
Nice, man. So there's nobody starved. That's the good news about it. Okay, and well, let's look back into some of the messages while we sort out Jay's mic. AF Academy, Penang, Mainland Rocks. What's up? Kudos, Kevin, Xavier, and team. Then
Yes.
Sate Ba Kole Gang. And then let's scroll on. Can we scroll down a little bit more? I think I should be opening my set over here.
Santa Kumar from KK.
Yeah,
Santa
man.
Kumar, KK. So much of love, man. Can you just scroll up some more? Scroll down, scroll up, or scroll up, because the message keeps coming. Remember, if you have any messages for these guys, all you have to do is just drop it in. Whatever love messages you have, Condog, okay? Condog was also the list.
Also there, yes.
Yeah, man. Because we were talking about DJs who participated. What's interesting is 3 things that caught my attention was, one, okay, we were talking about Charles B, right? The longest playing, or rather longest serving DJ. Still active in the industry, 45 years?
And some.
And
45
some.
years and a couple of months,
So just imagine, this is an amazing industry.
Actually, we were trying to get him into the Malaysian Board of Records as well.
Okay.
We actually have all the letters certifying that he is the person to do. But when the money came 15,000, we were scared to ask MBR for another certificate, because then they'll say 20,000. Then okay.
So budget.
So we're going to give one of our own to Charles B.
Yes.
At
special recognition.
Yes, that's right.
That's amazing, man. Just think about it. And also, 2 more DJs that made a special appearance. One of my favorites, of course, one of the guys who really, I'll be honest with you, he is the man that actually got me interested in the DJing line.
Okay.
It was Dr. Sam. I remember watching him at the Jump discotheque way back then, watching him play and all. So that's the guy who made me say that, I got to be a DJ someday. So Sam made a special appearance over there, right?
Yeah. It's Pulichi Vangu fella, very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. All the way, Norway.
He made a special appearance down there. So you can say this was also an international geek. Sam made an appearance, and Jungle Jerry came on board.
Yes.
So, basically all the other slots were random. Only the first slot, which I saved for Charles B, and the last 3, so that we can end the party on a high, I kept empty. So everybody else's slot was random, including mine. Of which I was pushed forward a few times here and there, because everybody wanted to change their slot. So I was the pawn used to change the slot. So it's not a problem for me. So I had played at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, no big deal.
Cool.
Okay, so then I thought it would be nice if we could invite some, people who really contributed to this thing to play and sweeten the whatever, the pot or whatever at the end. Okay. So that's how we ended up with that. So nobody knew till 24 hours when the names came out. So that was another surprise. Yes.
That was a very
it was a
surprising
surprise to the production team as well, especially for Jerry. And it came out to me, AJ, can you do this? I say, yeah, let's come out.
Nice. It was a good move, man, having that. So now, what's going to happen next? Have you received the certificate? Is there going to be a special event for that particular thing? And what is going to be happening next? Is there going to be a part 2? Maybe you're going to focus on not only in Malaysia, but you're going to spread the wings out to Asia, perhaps? Or the world, I don't know. Come on. There's a lot of things. Because one thing that we have learned through Independence 2020, there aren't actually many people who did this. Because yes, they have a solo DJ breaking the record, or maybe 25 DJs doing back-to-back, one person plays one song.
That's right.
And then, but in this particular case, having about 100 plus DJs going back-to-back for 10 days and 228 hours, that is a feat. So to take it to the next level, is there a possibility? Or do you have plans for that? Or are you just going to chill out for a little bit?
Okay, to answer your first question, the certificate, we have not got it yet.
Okay.
Because we did not want to get it on that night. It would have been a little messy, because it's not a very big space where we're operating.
Yeah, exhausted
at midnight, getting a VIP, part of the requirement is that VIP must be the one giving away.
Okay.
So getting a VIP to come to one little corner and then give us the thing at midnight when he could be busy, somewhere else.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that. So we've scheduled this to another special day, which is very, very close to all our hearts, especially our brothers and sisters from Borneo.
Okay.
It's Malaysia Day.
Nice.
So the certificate handover from MBR plus the VIPs will be on the 16th of September at noon at another place, and I must mention this place because they've sponsored this venue and the food.
Cool.
Okay, Marquis KL in G Tower. Okay. So they've sponsored that. So we all be gathering there to get the certificate then maybe everybody be collapsing here and there and crying and bawling their eyes out. So that's going to be and then to answer what's next, I want to shoot
Vacation.
my. I don't
Vacation.
know.
At this point, I probably just like close my ears and just rest for a while.
Because I don't want to shoot my mouth off again as usual,
Yeah.
and then everybody have to do. So I'll just say, we're going to wait a minute. And
But
tell.
let's say like just an idea. I'm pretty sure you have a small idea. It seems it's the idea hiding somewhere behind. Maybe a small teaser. You don't have to make it a full announcement. Lah.
Okay.
If you have in mind.
I'll tell you what it is. It's going to be a festival.
Really?
Every weekend festival covering a lot of places. So that's all I'm going to say.
Ah.
About it,
Okay.
All
so
kinds of genres, all kinds of
be
DJs.
on the lookout. You make sure you keep it posted on their Facebook day. Okay, let's go up. When is the next session? That you just heard it from the man, Chief. Chief, don't cry.
Double D.
Yeah. Double D was the one crying most of the time.
Oh yeah, he did.
No, Double D. Okay, Double D. Once again, let me tell you, based on my experience of knowing him, he's a very sensitive person. So don't be surprised if he cries.
Big shout out to Double D. Personally, shout out to Double D, Jason, and Mark, and the rest of the team. If I don't mention your name is
Simran.
Yeah, Simran, of course.
Juno was
Juno, our Energizer Bunny.
Man of the match. Man of the match.
And happy birthday, Jason Martin. Jason's birthday is tomorrow,
No,
right?
it's on the 7th.
7th. So there's going to be a special. According to his Facebook page, he's going to have a virtual party.
Yeah, that's
So
happening.
make sure you check him out, Jason Martin on Facebook. And have you ever played Baby Shark in a club? What was the response from the crowd? Dennis, among all questions you had. And do you know who these guys are? These are the guys who actually will just fish for Baby Shark and do a barbecue with the shark.
No, Dennis, I have played Baby Shark, but it was a tribal remix.
Okay, so you see the version
it
is
was a
different.
tribal
man.
remix.
Yeah, Stephanie
Yeah.
Kumar, would want to join in the next round under AF Academy. Oh, okay. That is interesting. Let's find out if that is even possible. Okay, you got to scroll. There's a whole lot of messages down here. Got to scroll up. Anything that I missed? Okay, yo. Sponsor in kind, Maisa Yahoo in the house. Maisa is there. Kapa, Sam Rocks. Good job, guys. You were awesome. Oh man, the list is going. You had Kesari also.
A big shout out to Amin Kalam,
Okay.
DJ Dash. Well, everybody is volunteering, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine making flyers for each DJ, 124 DJs?
Oh yeah, that's
On
a
top
lot.
of that, event flyers, Insta posts. So Amin Kalam, DJ Dash, salute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, there's one plugin down there, green screen come down. Was it really come down? No, but seriously, we really wish we could just list out each and every one of them, whoever's been helping out, sponsoring. But the best part is this, if you ever get a chance to check out their Facebook page, which is Independence 2020, you can see this particular video at the end of it that has everything scrolling up. Okay, every DJ that participated, every MC that got in on board.
Yes.
Okay, and also all the sponsors, the sole sponsors also.
Our soul providers.
Soul providers.
Soul food,
Soul
right?
food.
Those are the people who raised the 15,000 for us.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
okay, thank you
that's
so
why I
much.
said sole
But
providers.
word, remember this for everybody out there who missed out in terms of being part of this wonderful event. What you could do is keep them in the loop. Keep them in the loop. Pass your contact numbers, your company numbers. You never know. The moment Jay says, yes, let's go, jump on board, man. Don't miss this, because this is what usually happens in Malaysia. We all wait for the very last minute and then come on board, man. Stephanie Kumar, AG, how did you manage to sleep while the music was blasting? That was a very good question, right? How did you do that, man?
If you gotta sleep, you gotta sleep. That's it. Yeah.
Lullaby, lah. That was a lullaby for you guys, lah.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. We have some behind the scenes
Oh,
video.
no.
Behind the scenes
That's
video
not-
for that.
That's not gonna happen. That scene is not gonna go anywhere. Trust me.
Hey, please release that, because like I said earlier, when I was there, there's so many things that happened which people didn't get the chance to see. So you have to release all those videos, man. All those videos have to come out. So before we wrap, I've got another few more minutes to go. And is there
fast.
anything? Yeah, I know. It's going to be 45 minutes. I can just take it over because my producer doesn't care, actually. He just said, damn, you talk until you can't breathe. You drop dead or so you can talk, no problem. So we can do that. But before we do that, anybody else, anything that you would like to share, or rather just pour it all out?
I've never had an opportunity to do this ever
Okay.
in the club or online, or I always come out in the papers and all those kind of things for doing these kind of events. But today I would like to my father is watching.
Oh, man.
Mr. Subrahmanyam, thank you.
Adrian, you want to take the pic?
I'll save my crying later. We got 15 minutes, but anyway, shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on board.
That's all, man.
Cry more.
No, that's the best part, man. Reality TV.
What happened on the final hour, the last minute? For me, I actually broke down. What I did, I just actually removed my shirt and went to Jay and
not much of a sight anyway.
Anyway, not much. But anyway, this is what I told him. And it take one man's idea, where he put a bunch of crazy fellas, and we did this with minimum support and equipment that we have. The best thing is it's all about passion, the drive that we have. Nobody questions anything. We just went out there. Some of us are clueless, but the thing is, when we sit down together, a couple of meetings, chats, we catch up, and when we say that's cool, let's do it, believe. My hashtag for the whole 10 days is don't khawatir. So it's basically just go out and do it. I would say that something that I will cherish this in my life every day. It's something that I didn't imagine doing this for 10 days. Meeting new people, understanding new genres of music. Although being in as a DJ for more than 2 decades, I've learned a lot. And some of the DJs, you guys inspired me, man. It's about being inspired. This whole Independence 2020 is being inspired and inspiring people out there. And if you ask me to do it again, hell yeah!
Yeah, right, yeah!
And let's do it, and that's more challenge, there's more good things coming up. I'm really looking forward to it.
I was just going to say, if I say anything like that, make sure you ask me, are you sure? So at least I can
you do it, man. You do it.
A double
we are
take
doing it. You are doing it. We are doing it. Everybody's doing it.
One more for New Year countdown.
New Year countdown. Right? We'll do it. Because the thing is this particular initiative was not only for that 128 DJs that participated, it was for the entire community. Okay, for those who didn't even participate, it's for the DJ fraternity, to be more precise. Anybody has ever been behind the decks, who are on the decks, or who will be on the decks, this one was done for you. This is to show the entire world what is it like to be a DJ and what is DJing all about. A glimpse. You just had a glimpse of the huge industry that is in Malaysia. And on behalf, okay, and somewhat, I think I have a bit of, how do I put this? Can say connection with the DJ world out there. To the authorities out there, people who's been having perception that DJs should not be working. People, yeah, exactly, man. People who should not, clubs should be closed. This is the industry. They are doing it solely for entertainment. This is profession. So for the relevant authorities out there, if you're listening to this particular show, please consider changing your decision on closing up the clubs and not allowing people to get back to work. So that will be the open it up and let the DJs work, because remember, it's a huge industry. DJs can do it, and I'm so looking forward for the next step, the huge movement that Jay is going to start again. I know he will.
To all the DJs who didn't get a chance the first time and looking forward next time, we are coming for you, yeah? You better watch out.
For it. So be on standby. Start practicing, start doing your sets and all. You never know when your name will be up and when you will be doing your next set. So Jay, on behalf of everybody who was touched or rather influenced by a DJ, who had looked up to all the DJs out there, entertained by them, I would like to say a big thank you and congratulations for this wonderful accomplishment, which is the Independance 2020. Remember to share this particular video if you can, so at least people have an idea of what the conversation was all about. And before we go, let's see, yes, is there any government authority that even understands the industry? That is... Wow. One question mark down there. So until some DJ works for that industry, then we'll find out. But remember, follow them on Facebook. They're on Facebook and also Instagram. Be on the lookout for what's to come. Like I said, behind the scenes videos will be up. And a couple of DJ sets, those videos will be up. Please make sure you follow Independence 2020. That's DANCE, not DEN. So make sure you check it out. So once again, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, record holders.
Thank you.
Thank you, record holders. You are record holders as well.
Yeah.
All of you.
Nav, out of here.